Well, writing can be a great tool to process the difficult feelings many experience in grief. In her book, Life Doesn't Just Go On, Highlands University student Shanea Strachan writes a moving and heartfelt story about a young woman who finds herself in a way to forgive her estranged father just 1 month before his sudden death. And Shanea joins us this morning to talk about this very personal story. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you being here. I read the book and I am so glad you're sharing your story. This is actually a memoir. So tell us more about your experience and also what inspired you to write about it.
Well, I started writing the book in January of 2011, and I wrote it while grieving my father's death. I was living in Norfolk, Nebraska at the time, and I stumbled across a letter that I had written to him I think it was 2 months before he passed.
Gosh.
And that inspired me to write the book.
It was like a trigger. You just had to write it. So let's talk about some of the issues you address, because I think you're really going to help a lot of other people out there who are dealing with similar situations.
Well, I address single family parenting. I was raised in a single home. I address estranged family relationships as far as, you know, just being able to connect with my dad's side because we weren't very close. Overcoming and dealing with depression and as well as grief.
And you say in the book, you know, he wasn't perfect. He wasn't the most perfect person, but that doesn't mean that you can't find forgiveness and find a way to connect with somebody that you love, because you just never know when it's going to be the end. You just don't. So I'm really interested in asking you what you personally learned about yourself while you were writing this book.
What I learned about myself, I learned that I'm a very in tune person as far as my feelings goes, as far as my emotions goes. I learned that I'm very organized. Well, inside my mind, I'm very organized as far as, you know, just thinking how I want this story to flow, and as far as the timeline goes, and, you know, just the process of afterwards with getting it out. So just pretty much, I'm very in tune and I'm very organized.
Good for you. You really are. I mean, it is so hard, and you know better than anybody when you're going through grief, taking those emotions and collectively putting them together and making them flow and make sense and connect. And that's what you've done here. And you are actually a student, as I mentioned, at Highlands University. So I really want to know what the future is going to hold for you. And are you going to continue to write? I hope so.
The future, I am a media arts major, so I'll graduate with my bachelor's of fine arts in May, next May.
Good for you.
So I'm excited about that. As far as writing goes, I would definitely love to publish another book. My little sister, she draws anime, so I want to collab with her to do a story, and I want to get into screenwriting as well. So.
Ooh, I love it. And here in New Mexico, it's a great place to do it right now with all the film going on. So I know a lot of people are going to want to pick up a copy, and before I tell them how, I just want to say the title is so perfect. Life Doesn't Just Go On, and that came as a trigger for you when someone said to you, you know, come on, you got to stop being sad. It's been a few months. Life just goes on. You know, life goes on, and you're like, no. It doesn't just go on.
It doesn't just go
and
on.
And you said for people, one of the lessons that I think you should mention is that a lot of people realize, you know, the first few months that somebody's going through grief, they're really there for you, and then they kind of let it go. But you need them continuously, right?
Continuously, months after, weeks after, maybe even years.
Yeah. So how can people get the book?
The book is available online at Amazon.com. It's also available on Barnes & Noble and Half as well.
Perfect. Shanea, thank you so much. What a pleasure to meet you.